Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see everyone popping in. Going to give it just a couple more minutes to about 7:05 and we'll get started. Again, good morning. Great to see everyone on this call this morning. Got some good stuff for us. Again, my name is Lorenzo Johnson. I'm one of the partners here at Socially In, and I help lead our social selling division. Again, it's an entire division that's really focused on enterprise companies, as well as B2B, B2B focused companies. Today, actually, we're also going to be sprinkling a little bit of a B2C retail type of conversation in here as well. But again, very excited for today. I was just about to ask what people are doing in the chat. Let us know where everyone's from. We get a very wide variety of people on these calls from literally all across the world. We have people in Montreal, LA, Berlin, Chicago. This is also very cold, Minnesota. Good. Give it about 2 more minutes, everyone. 2 more minutes. And then we will get started. Again, got some really good stuff for everyone this morning. Very excited. Also, as soon as I get started, one of the things I'm going to ask is put some questions, any questions, anything that you would like for us to touch base on in this call, please put those in the chat as well. I've gotten a good amount of emails from a number of people this week. I will try my best to make sure that that I can address those. And if I don't, as always, I will give my my meeting link. I'll give my email. Let's get some time to talk through any questions that I can address. Also, if there's any customization that needs to happen, again, on these calls, we try to talk to make sure that everyone can take something away from this, which doesn't always allow us to customize this conversation as much as we would like. So if there's any conversations about how your individual company or your brand can take what we're going to talk about today and execute, again, would love to chat. Going to give it just about 1 more minute, let people finish coming in the room, and then we will get started. All right, let's see if we got anything pressing before we start, and let's get rolling in. Check a couple things, copy a couple notes. All right, so we need to figure out how the brand will grow from using some of these methods. Can I watch this link again? Yes, everyone, and I'll put this in right here as we get started. In this video, we record all of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 things, 2 links in the Zoom chat for everyone, just in case anyone has to get off. The first is going to be to our YouTube page. We have a social selling page on YouTube. Every webinar that we do, all the ones that we did last year, will all be on there. So yes, we will have that. And number 2, we also have a group, social selling with Socially In on LinkedIn. I'm going to also put that in there. Feel free to join these. You guys, we don't do any selling on these. We really do try to just be a resource. These are great tools and great resources for you all. My focus is B2B, not consumer. Will this be covered? Yes, Harrison. Again, the primary focus of these calls are typically for the B2B audience as well as enterprise sales. So, and yeah, Brad, unfortunately, we definitely tried to pick a time, and thanks for that feedback, Brad. We're actually accounting for people all the way in Europe as well. We have a number of clients all across the world, and so it's actually kind of not the easiest to pick a time that fits for everyone. But Brad, I'll definitely take that into consideration. So let's go ahead and keep on. Let's get into this. for the matter of time for everyone. So let me share my screen. The first thing I want to start is I want to encourage everyone to join. Here we go. I really want to make sure that I encourage everyone to join these webinars as often as possible. Again, join these webinars as often as possible. These do they combine in knowledge. We add on. We don't talk about the same things in here, and so I really encourage everyone to join as often as they can. For example, today is going to be a continuation of what we talked through in November, which was how to nurture your leads and some new features that are coming up on LinkedIn. And today we're going to take a deeper dive into that. So again, I want to say this will be every fourth Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central. Every fourth Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central. I encourage you guys to do that because, like I said, we don't repeat these, and these will continue to get deeper and deeper and deeper as we go. So today we're going to talk about 8 techniques, 8 social selling techniques to grow your leads. 8 social selling techniques to grow your leads. First, I want to remind everyone when we talk social selling is not just the ability to identify one of your target audiences on LinkedIn and just start pushing sales and incentives and buy. Social selling is nurturing your prospects. Social selling is truly being a resource. Social selling is truly making sure that you're addressing all elements of your funnel. You know, we talked about that a few months ago, making sure that you have a social selling strategy for the top of your funnel. Those who they may be in your target audience, but they may not even know you exist. The middle part of your funnel, those leads that may be a little bit more warmer, as well as the hot part of your funnel, those individuals that are ready to convert. So again, when we're talking through social selling, it's always important to remember that this needs to be strategic. So last month, we talked about 10 new features that LinkedIn rolled out. Those are going to be some awesome features. We will continue to dig into that. The first thing that we want to talk about today is publishing goal-oriented content. A lot of individuals on this call really want to be thought leaders and experts, but one of the things we saw last year is people where there was really no strategy in the content they produced. They produced content because they had to produce it. Very simple. And this year, we want to encourage you all to take that to the next level. So the first tip that we want to have and talk about today is publishing content with a goal in mind. With a goal in mind. So it's the idea that when you put that blog, when you put that newsletter, again, first off, who is it for? Is it for everyone in your funnel? Is it for the top of your funnel? Is it for the prospects in the middle of your funnel that are warm? So again, that's the first thing is we need to make sure that we are strategic when we're posting our content. But number 2, what is the goal? What is the goal? You know, keeping in mind, for example, if we're addressing people in the middle of our funnel, they are still considering, they're warm, they're taking steps ready to buy, but they are considering other options. So because of that, they are going to be actively searching for additional solutions. So what are the things that you can do? So for example, product demonstrations. Show your prospects how your product works. Let them be in behind the scenes, behind the curtain, as we say. Number 2, case studies. This is big. Case studies. People want to know, how have you helped other brands? How have you helped other people? Financial industry, IT, insurance, a lot of these 1099 type of industries where your competition is fierce. It's important to make sure that the content you're pushing has a goal to it. And things like case studies will really help people. How have you helped people? You know, that's another thing we want to talk about today is having different levels of case studies. When we created our case study plan here, we thought about all of the types of people who are buying and what are the objectives or the objections that we will undoubtedly get. For example, you will get people who say, I need to return quickly, 30 days. Make sure you have a case study about how you were able to turn something around and generate results in 30 days. You may have people whose goals is sales. You may have people whose goals is opening up doors. There are all types of things. So it's really important to take a step back and think through what are the objections that you get in your sales process And then how can you create case studies to already proactively overcome those objectives? And then number 3, quizzes. This is really cool. We talked about last time how LinkedIn rolled out a poll feature, for example. These are some of the features that we're going to encourage you all to continue to use. Quizzes help them understand which of your products or services are the best solution. Same thing. So that was in the middle. And again, I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys some good value that you can take away. So let's also talk about those people who are ready to make a decision. They are in what we call the conversion stage. They're at the bottom of the funnel. They're ready to move forward. Some content that you can put for them, again, thinking goal-oriented strategic content. What's a special offer or discount? Here's the key though, you guys, limited time only. We've all seen those commercials, buy now and you get those types of things. The reason is because people are waiting for certain moments to buy. There are individuals who are waiting for that type of stuff. You can help prompt them. So special offers and discounts, but again, throw that time limit, create a sense of urgency, as we like to say. Number 2, make it easy for people to purchase. E-commerce. If you do not have e-commerce on your site, I strongly encourage you to start to look into that. Really cool thing for people who use CRMs like HubSpot. HubSpot has recently released some payment links and some new e-commerce functions. So again, even if you don't have the ability for your web developer to build e-commerce, there are certain tools and certain CRMs that can help you. That is important, you guys. Allow people to buy, make it easy. You will have people who may not want to get on a call, who may not want to go through what your process is. Make it easy for those people to buy right there and convert. And then last thing, free trials. Everybody likes something free. Also, more importantly, one of the things you got to realize is that a lot of people have been burned out there, you guys, and they just have. I trust everyone on this call, and I think that everyone on this call does great work, but everyone has had a bad experience with the company, and just assume that people have probably had a bad experience with a competitor of yours. So the other thing that a free trial allows you to do is it allows you to get them in your ecosystem and build that relationship. So be thinking. You don't have to put your core product out there, but what's something you can give them that allows them to come in minimum to no cost and really start to see the value? For example, when you move forward with any level of service with us with a LinkedIn plan, we will buy your LinkedIn Sales Navigator for you. You guys, that's depending on if you buy a monthly or an annual, that's either an $80 or $111 per month. We pick that up. That's important to certain people. So again, be thinking, what are those free trials? Make it easy for people to buy when they want to buy now. And again, what are some offers and discounts so that you can capture those individuals who are ready to buy as we speak? You know, I like to provide some examples and different things like that as well. So in this situation right here, just getting 80% off when you do clicks and tracking and all of that. But again, give people those incentives to help capture if they are ready to buy now. Again, strategically thinking about what content can be posted to address for certain people at certain stages of the funnel. I'm going to just quickly pause, see if there's any questions I can quickly answer. Okay. So embracing live events, this is going to be big. This is really, really going to be big for everyone. If you, and I'm going to reiterate this multiple times, if you sell through your LinkedIn, you need to activate creator mode. If you sell through your LinkedIn, you need to activate creator mode. It is free. It is going to give you access to so many things. Again, I won't go through it on this call right here if you have questions, because we did just talk about it last month. But one of the big things that we want to keep talking about and hammering in is the incorporation of video and live events. A lot of individuals on here do webinars. We're currently all sitting on a webinar. A lot of companies do. LinkedIn is giving you the ability to also stream these live now, you guys. That is extremely cool. That is extremely powerful. So the biggest piece to this is you need to activate creator mode. You need to activate creator mode for that. But again, now, not only can you have these webinars where people can join, You can now run funnels and plans to drive people to your LinkedIn page and host it just like a live event. So now we can think about the additional people who may not be able to make some of your physical events. And you can also stream them virtually at the same time. And LinkedIn makes it easy and seamless to integrate through a number of platforms. This is Zoom. A lot of people use Zoom. LinkedIn makes it very easy to sync through Zoom as well. Just going to check questions really fast. Creator mode is on your personal LinkedIn. Carolyn, that's a great question. Creator mode is on your personal LinkedIn. Personal LinkedIn. Like I said, at the end of this, we will go through questions. And if we have time, I will try to go in and show everyone how to do it. But it's on your LinkedIn. So here's the thing, you guys. LinkedIn is responding to the fact that individuals are doing more selling via their personal pages. So now what they're doing is they are allowing us to create our personal pages and make them more business-like. It's awesome now. So yes, creator mode is literally, if you sell through your personal, you need to activate creator mode in the features. There's a couple more features we're going to talk through here. And like I said, you guys will continue to see why that's important. Lead magnets, lead magnets, lead magnets. If no one has any idea of what a lead magnet is, it's the idea that sometimes what you need to do is you need to gate your content. Gate your content. What that means is that in order for you to give this piece of valuable information, your prospect has to give you some of their information, and typically it's contact information. So why would that be important? Well, the first thing is, you guys, this year, one of the things you should always be thinking is, how can we build the top of our funnel to the best of our ability? You want to get as many people into your ecosystem as literally possible. Again, you want to get as many people into your sales ecosystem as possible. The reason is because this is how you can continue to have prospects for webinars, for newsletters, for a number of different things. So again, now in exchange for their personal information that you can also give to your sales reps, for example, they get access to exclusive content. And again, you guys, this isn't supposed to be this bait and switch, as they call it. The idea is that you give them real valuable information. Remember, people buy from people they trust. People buy from people they trust. People buy from people who are a resource. A lot of times, a lot of salespeople think way too short-sighted. You have to be thinking long-term. You need to be thinking much more in the future. So again, don't be afraid to give people valuable information that poses you, whether it's as an individual or as a company, as that thought leader and expert. Because even if they don't buy now, they will eventually buy, you guys, trust me. So again, the idea is to take and exchange some valuable information in exchange for contact information that can be used to build up your ecosystem. So for example, I put a couple different examples of it. Again, I'm going to try to use real examples. LinkedIn has stories and some things like that as well. How can we capture that? So for example, this is Litmus. And one of the things that they're doing is in order to get to their webinar, you have to register. Some of you may have noticed, I know some of you all have already registered, and once you register once, you get access to all of ours, but some of you had to register to get on here. In order to register, we ask for your email and your phone number. So be thinking for those type of things. How can you use a lead magnet to not only attract and bring them in, but continue to nurture and continue to engage with them, continue to engage with them. A couple quick tidbits. Make sure that your landing page speaks to the audience. You guys, that's one of the things I'm going to keep reiterating, is that make sure that, again, you have a strategy for the individuals in each part of the funnel, and it's truly thought out. When you take people to a landing page, is it built for the audience that's coming there? For example, we actually try to make sure when we build our landing pages that our landing pages are built for all three of our funnels. We make sure that it has information for people at the top. We also make sure that if you are ready to buy right now and you are a lead ready to convert, you can also purchase right now. It's important to think through those things in the beginning. This is just a quick little bit, only because we've seen just a little bit of influx of sites not looking the best in this space. Make sure it's mobile friendly. That used to be something that was really preached, and a lot of people knew it as kind of standard, but make sure it's mobile friendly. And that includes when they register and download things like your PDF and documents. No one wants to download your document and then have to play around with their phone so that they can see it and source it. So I always encourage people, walk yourself through this process. Sit back and say, if I was a prospect, walk yourself through that. What type of experience are you getting, people? Oh, this is important. This is important. The last thing that I want to say on this, if you are going to offer exclusive content or a recurring, something like a recurring webinar, a recurring resource, consider creating a community, you guys. This is something that we finally did. We gave webinars all last year. And then in Q4, we launched our first Facebook and LinkedIn groups, Social Selling with Socially In. That's important, you guys. If you truly are going to be consistent and you really want to offer your leads and your prospects a place to come through as a resource, and if you truly want to make yourself be that resource and that thought leader, I'd strongly encourage you guys to create an online community where you can put content like this and resources, and you can drive people to it that validates the fact that you're a thought leader. That's the one thing that I've always liked to tell people. Everyone thinks they're a thought leader and an expert, but have you validated that yet? Just want to make sure there's no questions. Okay. Perfect. So, funnel-oriented call to action. This is something we see so much with pages that we don't manage, where we may just do like the paid ads, or it's just the personal, we help with their automation. No strategy with call to action, no variety with call to action. People post a post and they think that it's always to say, this is what I think, everybody listen to me, because we understand we're the experts, we're the thought leader. You guys, take a step back and think about the different types of ways you would like to engage with the brand. And we got to start to have some variety in our call to action, and more, even deeper and strategic than that. Our call to action needs to be what we call funnel oriented, or they need to take people through the process that we want to walk them through. Why do we want to do that? You guys, we want to tell prospects what we want them to do and guide them through. I promise you, you guys, your prospects will follow what you tell them to do. It's very interesting sales psychology. People are looking for you to direct them and tell them what to do next. So many times you've lost out on business because another company did a better job of moving your prospect or someone through the funnel. Simple as that. You got to help people help themselves. That's something that we always think about. You know, it's funny, we get on calls with people and we have to remind our team, and we talk to our team. Some people don't even know what questions to ask, you guys. Some people don't even know what questions. Some people don't even know where to start. So it's your job to not only help them know where to start, but to walk them through, give them options of where they can go, but always help them stay focused on what should be next. So a couple other calls to action, just want to give you guys, because we always like to give you guys actionable stuff you can take away. They don't always have to be pushy and salesy, like I said. Sign up to join our next webinar. Download our guide. Read a new case study that we have about how we help businesses cut 50%. Testimonials from clients. You know, if you, and those are some of the ones for the middle of the funnel. Again, the top and the middle, people who are just at the top, they need your service, but they may not know that it exists. Those individuals who are a little warmer, they're aware of you, but they may not be ready to buy. But what about people who are ready to convert? Some great ones. Start your free trial. Get our brand new product before it's gone. Don't miss out on a once-in-a-year deal. So again, not only a variety in the engagement, but even if your call to action is a converting call to action, there are different ways and more unique ways that you can create variety in your call to actions as well. Also, before I forget, please have a call to action. So many times people post graphics and posts and these different things with no call to action. It's just there, just there. Again, help people help themselves. Tell people what you want them to do. This is Unbounce. I grabbed, was doing some research trying to find someone I thought did a great job. So this is literally on their LinkedIn so that you can go and grab. But again, one of the things they talked about, and this is what I mean, where if you are truly a thought leader, one of the things, the goals you should have for your space shouldn't be for people to respond to you. It should be you want to create a platform for people to discuss. One of the things I love is if when we do a post and it has 50, 100 comments or something on it, and they're all from other people talking to each other. That's how you know you're doing a great job with engagement and creating a platform that people find valuable. So in this situation here, it's a question. How confident are you in distinguishing between human and machine? And here's a whole thing. Again, it's not asking for your email. It's not asking for sales. It's asking, it's going to take a quiz. And after you take the quiz, it's going to ask for your email. You're going to prompt to sign up for a trial for free. Think through little different things like that, you guys. So again, if you would like to, I'll pick this one specifically because if you would like to walk through this, you can go to their LinkedIn and follow this and walk through that funnel, and you will see that their call to actions literally direct you exactly through the funnel, and you'll end up on a free trial all of a sudden. And that's what you want, because once you get people into your ecosystem, you guys, it's so much easier to sell them. You have to invest to get them into their ecosystem. This is something that it's funny because a lot of people don't necessarily, a lot of people have had either really good or really bad experiences, but when done strategically, this is game changing. And it's the use of automation, automated direct messaging. I'm sure every person on this call has an inbox right now full of automated direct messaging. And you can absolutely tell when it's done trash. However, I'm sure a lot of us have also responded to some messages that you didn't know were automated, or you knew they were automated, but they were still so well done. You guys work with the team to use a platform that automates your direct messaging can truly be game changing. For example, our team, we do leverage a copywriting team personally for this. We don't use scripts. I know some people use scripts and templates for industries and things like that. So you do need to find the right partner. Again, what we do in our company is it's all custom copy written by our copywriting team. It's approved. It's awesome. But I bring this up because you guys, there are some awesome, so efficient ways to do outreach to both new and current connections on LinkedIn. That's the other thing. It's not just going after new. A lot of people on this call have built up a healthy following on LinkedIn. What if you could automate outreach? I'll give you guys a great example. It doesn't always have to be salesy. People always think about the negative impression that they've had of, the salesperson who their stuff wasn't targeted. It may have still had first name in the message, all of these different things. However, we, for example, send out an automated message to our first degree connections on LinkedIn every month that just simply invites them to this free webinar. And that's all it says. It doesn't ask them to do anything. It doesn't ask them to buy. It doesn't ask them to. We just say, hey, there's a free webinar. And if you're interested in learning more about LinkedIn features, how to use it, skills and things like that, we encourage you to join. So I bring that up because there are all type of strategies when it comes to automating the direct messaging that you could use. So I encourage you guys, it is such time saving and so efficient. It's so efficient. So again, if LinkedIn and social selling is going to be a part of your strategy this year, I strongly encourage you to start to do some research to find a partner that can help automate some of this stuff right here. Again, you do need to find the right partner. Again, I want to reiterate that it can be done terribly. It can make you look very stupid, frankly. When done the proper way, the amount of time that it saves and how much revenue that can be brought in for it is awesome. And like I said, a lot of people here want to be thought leaders. They want to be experts. These are great ways to consistently invite your network to things like a webinar, to free resources that you have. Great ways to do that, hands off. Just going to check questions really quick. What time? We got 7:30. Okay, going to try to wrap up here very shortly so we can get into some Q&A. See if we got any questions. All right. I have a question here. It's a little specific, so I am going to try to hold off. Let me get through these last little pieces here, and then Visica, and I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name. Would love to hear your name in just a few minutes. I apologize, but give me just a few to get through this, and I will try to answer that specific question. And if I can't, I will also, like I said, I'll make sure we get my meeting link in here, and we can talk through how to customize this content for a specific company. E-commerce tools, you guys, this is going to be game changing. And I know this is about LinkedIn, but the one thing I did want to bring up, just so you guys know, all social media channels are starting to build in e-commerce. You need to look into it. And again, I know this is on LinkedIn, so we are going to talk about what's called LinkedIn's product feature, but I just wanted to let everyone know e-commerce is becoming a huge deal. Again, we're talking about how to make sure content is appropriate per where they're at in the funnel. Having e-commerce will be key for people who are at the bottom of your funnel and people who are ready to convert. Now, you do need to access creator mode. I told you guys I was going to keep reiterating that it's key. Once activated, LinkedIn now has a product feature. You guys, you can sell products, and B2B people, you can sell services. It's game changing, you guys. You can sell software, you can sell services, and you can sell products. You can also sell contractors. I'm going to say that again, B2B, everybody on this call. Not only can you sell your standard products through LinkedIn's product features tool, you can sell services, you can sell software, and if you are a contractor, you can identify yourself as a contractor and people can search you now through LinkedIn product. This is going to be game changing, you guys. So again, leveraging native e-commerce on the social media. So yes, you need it on your site, but your social media plan can also incorporate e-commerce now, you guys. This feature was just released in November, I believe, right at the end of Q4. It's game changing. So again, let's set up a time to talk through that if you have interest in that. But I want to reiterate, it's not just products, services, software. If you are a 1099 contractor, you can now place those and yourself on LinkedIn's product features page. It's going to be awesome for us, guys. Optimizing organic content. Everyone on this call needs to have Sales Navigator. Everyone on this call needs to have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I'll say it one more time. Everyone needs to have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. One of the really cool things that it can do that's very underutilized and talked about is it actually provides analytics and reports for a personal page. So just how LinkedIn Ad Manager and some other things can provide analytics for a company page, you can get analytics for your page, you guys. Did you know that if you truly think that you're a thought leader, you can actually get on LinkedIn and LinkedIn will give you a score for thought leadership? Did you know that if you truly want to engage and you're judging yourself on engagement, LinkedIn can actually give you a ranking? LinkedIn can let you know how you're ranking in your industry. LinkedIn can let you know who's viewing your post, what's being viewed, what's being responded, what's being engaged, you guys. I mentioned earlier that LinkedIn is really buying into this idea of selling through a personal page. So now that we have access to the analytics and reporting, just like we can for a company page, it's important to take the time to look at those results and optimize your content accordingly. This is one of the reasons I mentioned about a variety of call to actions. The great thing is you can run a variety of call to actions for 30 days, 90 days, and then you can look at the results and you can see what type of content are my prospects actually responding to? Not what do I think in theory or conceptually, but what's making them bite? Taking it even further and looking at it, conversion analytics. What content is actually driving to conversions? So again, if you do not have LinkedIn Sales Navigator and you plan on selling via LinkedIn, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. Again, optimizing the content from a personal standpoint is now, you can now do that, and it's going to be able to take this, our personal selling to a whole new level. And then last but not least, ads. This is something that we don't talk about as much on these calls, because it's a whole, it's a beast. It's important also that if you are trying to grow your audience, there is an organic place for a strategy, but depending on how aggressive you are, it's important to have that paid ads budget, you guys. Just so everyone knows, organic engagement, you will be looking at 1 to 3%. 3% is considered great organic engagement, which means that if you have 100 followers on LinkedIn and you were to start to get 3 individuals that were engaging, that's not bad. Now, obviously, that number right there is very scary. So again, it is important sometimes to grow that engagement to make sure you set and allocate an ad budget. Now, I want to give a caveat and just let everyone know LinkedIn ads will be some of the most expensive. Now, in this B2B space, it's some of the best. It's the best targeting. We can find the people, they convert the highest, but I'm just being fully transparent. They will not be cheap because of the ability to identify the exact people we're looking for. Make sure you have a strategy in place. Make sure you have a strategy, or you hire a team that can do something like that for you. But again, you guys, I just wanted to be very honest about numbers and what we're seeing. You're seeing 1 to 3% organic. They say 1% on Facebook, for example, is good engagement. 1%. So yes, there are some strategies that we can do organically, but this is something we are going to be reiterating. If that's going to be important for you all this year, it may be important to sit back and take a step back and set aside an actual paid ads budget this year. Again, it's something to consider, not saying that everyone has to do it because it won't be a cheap initiative, frankly. But depending on your goals this year, it may be something, it may be a part of the budget that you just have to consider. All right, we got about 7:38. At the end of the day, you guys, social selling is about nurturing your prospects just as much as it is about converting your prospects. Again, social selling is just as much about nurturing as it is about selling. Too often, we focus on the converting and the selling part. If you don't buy right now, well, then it's out of it. We forget about you. That's not a proper social selling strategy. And when social selling strategy is done properly, you create an opportunity to have a funnel at the top that always has an influx of leads. And as you can imagine, as though your conversion rates get better, your average cost per acquisition goes down, the cost per your sale goes up. That's how social selling is done properly and efficiently. I am going to put my email because I know we're just a little over the time. And my name is Lorenzo. I would love to chat with anyone. Let's get back in here and see if we have any questions that I can answer before we all get off. Again, I look forward to touching base with everyone. And my email is in here. Let's get a meeting on the calendar to talk about how we can customize some of this specifically to your company. I'm going to take a step back and just get some answers to some of these questions. Feel free to stay on. Feel free to continue to pop questions. I'll be on for about another 20 minutes. So I'm just going to scroll back up to the top and let's just get into some Q&A. Yes, this presentation will be shared like I mentioned. So not only will it be posted in that LinkedIn group, this recording will also be posted on YouTube for us. Figure out how brand will grow from using this method. Benji, let's get some time on a calendar. Let me do a little more research on your company and background, and then let's absolutely see what we can do for that. All right, here we go. How can I implement this in the case of IT services where the sales cycles are longer and also targets a group of people like the CTOs and VP engineering who are generally not the most active on LinkedIn? That's a great question. So there's a few things. Number one, this is where nurturing becomes very, very important in a strategy, what we call account-based marketing. Account-based marketing. So the idea is that with those specific companies and people that you're looking for, the first thing we want to do is we want to break down those companies and targets. And we need to see if there's different messaging that needs to go to those different groups, for example, to start off with. The second thing is we then want to have a plan that makes sure we're not only talking to CTOs and VPs, we want to make sure we actually have a plan to talk to the people who help CTOs and VPs make decisions. We want to make sure we're talking to people at the bottom as well as we're talking to people at the top. The other thing is we also want to make sure we have a plan to take those conversations offline. Take those conversations offline. So the great thing is that LinkedIn offers you an opportunity to introduce yourself, introduce your brand, introduce your company, but that doesn't mean that you have to finish the conversation from there. So one of the things that we do is we do what's called contact extraction, where we can actually take emails and phone numbers from LinkedIn as well. Because now we want to continue to engage outside of LinkedIn with those individuals. Because again, like you said, this is a long-term cycle. So the idea is not to just pepper them only with LinkedIn only content. The idea is to truly nurture them and give them content appropriate for them and platforms that are also appropriate for them. So, like I said, Vicekal would love to get into a call. And like I said, I'm trying to answer that general without knowing your company. We'd love to know your company a little bit more and we can dig deeper into that. Mr. Halligan, for LinkedIn sales, is it more effective for users to view personal or company pages? Is it more effective for users? Bill, that's going to depend on how your personal page is set up. For example, we have clients whose personal pages are significantly better for selling than a lot of companies' corporate pages are. So it's absolutely going to depend of, have you set your personal profile to be viewed as a thought leader, expert, resources, things like that. If it is just a standard LinkedIn profile, then I would argue strongly that it's probably better for a company page. But you can optimize a personal page to be extremely effective for selling. So again, that question is a little kind of a loaded question because it truly depends on the company page, and they can be done effectively through both. Steve Ryan, what are your general thoughts on using press releases as sales tools? Thanks. Steve, it's an important aspect of it, but again, you need to make sure that it's addressing and put towards the appropriate part of the funnel. So for example, depending on what the press release is going to be about, there are certain places I would put it. There are certain places that it could fit everywhere. So for example, say the press release was, I'm just throwing it out there, Cindy, my mind's going, say the press release was about how a great thing that you guys did as a company last year, for example. That's something that should be placed everywhere. That's something where all your employees, your company page, your website, you should have that different type of stuff. Say the press release is specific to a case study, for example. I would, in that example, for example, I would really want to make sure that my bottom of the funnel individuals are really getting that case study right there, because you got to think, a person at the very, very top of your funnel, so a person who, again, may need your service, but they don't know they need your service, the case study won't help them. To know that a client got 15X, for example, that sounds good, that sounds cool, I'm not ready to buy, it doesn't really affect me right now. Now, say I'm ready to buy and I'm going back between 3 companies and I'm trying to pick, and then I get that case study about how, or that press release about how you had a client get 15X or you helped a client get bought out. That could be the thing that tides me over to convert. So again, press releases are great sales tools when they're targeted to the most appropriate audience. And again, I would argue that depending on what the press release is, the targeting can be different. And there will be some things that you just want to put everywhere for everyone to see. And then there's other things, like I said, you really want to make sure it's a little more segmented and a little more specific. C. Lee Smith, how much should I budget ballpark for an agency like yours to help execute these strategies? On a personal page, you would be looking at $300 to $2,500 a month. For a company page, which also includes like the content production and video and different things like that, it'll start at around $2,500 a month. The scopes will all be custom, so we definitely got to get on a call to chat, and everything we do is month to month. We do not have contracts. Brad, okay, thank you. Perfect. All right, guys, we do got about 14 more minutes. Oh, there's one more Q&A. Is there a company that can do an in optimization? Peter, yes, there is. That's actually, we do both a one-time optimization, optimizing an existing profile. We also build profiles from scratch, Peter. So we can do both, whether we need to build it from scratch, whether we need to optimize it. Just because I know some people are asking prices, it's only $99 to optimize your existing profile. It's $150 to build you a brand new profile, get it built from scratch. Awesome. Any other questions, you guys? Any other questions? Any other comments? Anything else I could help address today? Well, I appreciate everyone's time this morning. Give us just a little bit of time. Like I said, this will be uploaded and put into our LinkedIn group. This will also be uploaded into YouTube. I appreciate everyone's time. And Syed, I just sent you my email. Send me an email, sir, and I can make sure I get this over to you. Any other questions, comments, concerns, you guys? Any other questions? Perfect. Well, I appreciate everyone's time today. Thank you all. I hope everyone took some actionable information today. Look forward to jumping on a call. I see a number of people already really excited. And we will be back the fourth Tuesday in February, same time, ready to go. Thank everyone for their time, and I hope everyone has a great day today.